Okay, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're calling from. Welcome to this workshop in which resources for Arabic teachers of middle and high school students are shared by two experts, and they have carefully curated a list for you. And those are the DC Arabic Teachers Council Advisory Board members, Hala Abdu and Sarah Malik. And these workshops are hosted by the Institute for Middle East Studies at George Washington University and are generously funded by Qatar Foundation International. So quick introductions, and then I'll give the speakers the floor. I'm going to give Hala the floor first. Hala Abdu started her teaching career in Egypt and began teaching Arabic in the United States in 2004. She's taught Arabic as a foreign language at the secondary school level and in a variety of settings, with experience in both face-to-face and virtual teaching in different public schools. She believes in teaching through art and completed a Kennedy Center certificate on this topic in 2009. She also studied with the Nova Institute to obtain a Waldorf teacher training certificate in 2014. She completed her master's in foreign language secondary education at George Washington University, where we are today, and is working toward her EDD in Waldorf education at Antioch University. And then our second speaker will be Sarah Malik. She's a teacher and instructional coach at Al Huda School in College Park, Maryland. She has a master's degree and is a certified teacher and has been teaching Arabic to non-native speakers for over a decade. She recently started working on projects focusing on cross-curricular connections between culture, science, history, geography, and language, Arabic. And she's also involved in UBD design curriculum planning and creating teachable content for K through 12 learners. She enjoys traveling across the Arab world and is familiar with North African culture and dialects, as well as Levantine culture and dialects, and is skilled in the comparison of dialects, the origin of Arabic words, and fostering linguistic, comparative, and analytic abilities. Her experience with French, Urdu, and Turkish helps her relate cultures, worlds, and geographies, and allows her to create a dynamic, inclusive, and globalized classroom. So we are very lucky to have Hala and Sarah with us. And thank you both so much for putting this amazing list together. We have curated these resources for teachers, and I am going to turn it over to Hala. So let me put this, and I guess I'll just start your slideshow and then I'll
Thank you.
give this to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa marhaban, everyone. This is a unit about the month of Ramadan, and I used the book Understanding by Design to help me with designing the unit. I have experience with the backward design since I was teaching in a StarTalk program, and every summer we have to design our curriculum, what we are going to teach this summer. And absolutely, this was the first experience I took also during my master's degree, and I did another one with George Washington University, the Middle East Institute, and this was absolutely a good and lovely experience to add it to designing the unit. For me personally, when I was trying to have the month of Ramadan as a unit, I have to start by the end of mind and what I have for my student to understand. What is the enduring understanding that I would like my student by the end of teaching them this unit, something to stay with them. It's absolutely not only Ramadan, it's the fasting as a ritual, as a practice, religious practice, not only for Muslims, for other faiths that they use it and for different reasons. And from here, I start with my essential question: how is fasting viewed as a ritual and religious aspects in different parts of the world? And after that, I started with my student. Yes, after that, absolutely, I have to connect it to the standards. Standards for the foreign language, we have 5 C's or 5 standards: communication, community, culture, and comparison and connection. So the most has been used, the connection between the different Muslim countries as a region, and the map of the world. So this is connection to the social studies. And for the communication or for the comparison, how Ramadan, is there anything? After I start with the back in mind, what I need my student to have after, studying the unit, the understanding of fasting is a priority for me. And here my essential question has to be around this. And then all the other principle will come about Ramadan, how is Ramadan, as a culture, not only religion, as a culture of practice, product, and perspective in the eyes of the people of the Muslim community in the world. So I started with the standard. I used those 3 standards in the beginning. And then one of the beautiful thing, can you see my slide now? Can you see the social justice standards?
Yes, I see it.
Excellent. So,
Yes.
And this is the aha moment. Honestly, for me, I never used it before. And this year I used it. I attended Actful and Nectful. And one of the things I noticed that it's used, and it's about 4 domains. It's 20 principles, 20 standards, 5 about identity, and another 5 about diversity, and 5 about justice, and the last 5 about action. So I used from the identity and diversity, 2 for each, and I added to my standard. And this is how I start to weave the unit. I have to make it align with the standards, and then I start to think about and here my beginning. I start about to see what I am going to introduce to my student to help them understand fasting. One of the things as when I have to introduce the Arab world, even they have an idea about it. I'm teaching, by the way, high schooler, and I have a very small percentage of heritage, and even their writing, reading skills, kind of, I don't like to say weak, but it's still need to be worked on. So when we I'm sorry. So when I started with teaching the unit, and after putting the standard together, I start to think about what I want them to have to stay with them. And I start to have the multi-phase panel. This is the best thing I can start building my unit around. So I have this video. I found it in Vimeo. I liked it was done during Ramadan 2020, during the pandemic. And it has 4 faiths introduce fasting: the Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and the 4th one, which is just have the Mormon. So 4 of them introduce the perspective of fasting, how fasting in their faith. So I started with this, and after I can just make a small.
Okay. Welcome everybody to tonight's multi-faith panel on fasting. We are so glad to have you with us for this interesting and timely conversation during Ramadan. So before we begin, I want to acknowledge that we're all coming to this moment and this event from many different times and places and days. And I'd like us all to let go of what we're coming from, whether that's dinner or a meeting or anything else, to truly be present for our multi-faith conversation this evening. So to honor the transition to our panel, I invite you to join me in 30 seconds of silence.
Yeah. So this is the video I used. I like the Alison is the one who introduced the panel, who's responsible even for the Jewish portion. And she very enthusiastic, very, organized, and it's been done like literally 5 to 6 minutes for each faith to introduce the perspective of fasting. And this is a very good amount of time for my students when I give them a task to listen and reflect. And here, the lovely part I used, I see, I think, I wonder. And this was the wondering part that going through the whole unit with me. I was not focusing on the activities. I was not focusing in a textbook or how to match this. As I said in the beginning, the unit as a whole, my student understanding is the priority, the understanding of fasting as a concept, and then automatically everything aligned together. After watching this, and we reflect on I see, I think, I wonder, and I asked my student to reflect on what they have wondering about after watching the video. We did, I did with them, I love to use Pear Deck, and what do we need to learn about Ramadan as a month, as fasting. And here, this is literally what I copied and pasted from my student answer. Some of them, I never tried it. I heard about it. And I have one heritage here. She's Muslim, but she never practiced fasting. And all those answers were the guide for me. What is the next step for, although I did the frame kind of for the unit, but this is absolutely the guide to go and, to design the unit. As I said, my guide was understanding by design, and he emphasized that we are going with the understanding, not with the activity, list of activities and list of text and passages and stuff like that. So I was going around this. What I have here, this is by the end, I did this as a practice. Sometimes my students like to write down vocabularies and jot down expressions, anything they learn, even in English. So I pass this out. It's a sheet. I just copied one square of the sheet to help them. And now this is another I see, I think, I wonder. They see the gathering of the family and the reflection about the spirit of Ramadan. They laughing, they waiting for the kunafa, and they can see also one of the comment that they are fasting, they celebrating breaking their fast, and some they are not covering. So it was a lot of thinking process for them to think about Ramadan and how is the month is so precious for the people or the Muslims to observe and to apply themselves into this month. And that's it. And okay, by the end, if you see here, to be honest, the best after the starting with the opening of the ritual and the practice of Ramadan, I started with the food unit, give it to the student, and it was a good thing. We practice not only the food, they look at everything, and they can see the dishes of Ramadan over there, and we tested during the class. But for the final project, for my final project for the Ramadan as a unit, I asked them how the culture affect the present of Ramadan as a month in terms of products and perspectives and practicing for the people. And as I said, when we started the unit, we said the Muslims like 1.8 billion. on the face of the earth, and they are different nationalities and, you know, in different continent, and according to their places, they celebrate and they observe Ramadan according to this. And this is, as I said, this is for me personally, this is the main goal of the unit, the part that they understand fasting as a concept, how people stayed for 30 days having dry fast, and they enjoy it. Okay, one of the things I have it here, but it will not open during also the unit. I explain how the people fast. How do you think they can fast for the whole month? What do you think they do to encourage themselves to do you know, this type of fasting? And part of this was al-Misahharati. Al-Misahharati, the person who comes and wake the people up during night, and how it looks like in the past and how it looks like in modern days. So this is one, and the Zina, and one of them, one of the videos I have, Zina in London, how the people decorate one of the streets. It's a small street, small area in London, and how they liked it because it's very organized, and you can see a crescent, and then, you know, lanterns. But I show some pictures from all around the Arab world, and not the Arab world, but honestly, like Egypt, very crowded, and they just literally do the zina, or the way they decorate Ramadan is very, you know, very inviting. They just gathering in each street and go and gathering money from the people over there and ask, we are going to decorate because Ramadan is coming, please chip in. And generously, the people like to give and to do this, you know, to be part of this celebration or part of welcoming the month of Ramadan. I talked too much, and I hope I was clear. And thank you. Shukran.
Oh, shukran. Shukran jazeelan.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. And thank you for your patience. And also thank you so much for the really interesting lesson and the resources for teaching about Ramadan. I'm going to try to follow up with that and share some other resources that teachers can use and maybe benefit from whenever they're looking to enhance their lessons or diversify teaching strategies in the Arabic classroom. So as we know, as teachers, of course, we have our lessons, our curriculum, our plans set ahead of time. And most of the time, our lessons come with many resources. You know, a lot of time our assessments are pre-made for us. Some of our worksheets are already pre-made for us. Some of our, classwork and our discussion and our activities that we're supposed to engage our students with are already pre-made for us. However, many times we can find that those pre-made activities and those pre-made resources that are provided to us are not very engaging. Also, many times they are following a similar routine, and our students tend to get bored from those activities. They want something new, they want something different, and they want to feel like the language is interesting enough for them that they can engage in it and want to be motivated to learn. So I have a kind of big list of resources that maybe teachers could benefit from. And I'll try to just highlight my top 3 or 4 favorite ones out of them. But I will definitely go through the list and just read off some of these amazing resources that are available for teaching Arabic. So the first one is Diglossia, which is a website that has Arabic assessments for grades K to 10, and it allows for remote administration of these assessments. They're also standard based, so it can be very beneficial if your school hasn't adopted something like this yet and is considering it, then they might want to take a look at that collectively, for the upcoming school year. And, this is another reason why I think this workshop is so important, because it's April and it's almost May, and basically it's the end of the school year, but this is the time where discussions are happening for the upcoming school year, for next school year. So even some of these programs and some of these options that we have can be useful for discussions when we're talking about next school year. One of my favorite ones from this list is Nahla wa Nahil. Nahla wa Nahil is an amazing online book reading program. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the AR book reading program for English language, arts, and literature. And it's just like an Arabic version of AR. So the students get to log in online, and they can read books on their levels. Basically, the teachers can assign them many books, and they're digital books. And then after they read those books, they can actually take quizzes and assessments and play games based on the stories that they've read. And I don't know if they're still offering it, but when we signed up for it, we had a free 30-day trial. So all of the teachers got to, try it out for a whole month. They experimented it with their classes and with their students. And then the school was able to make a determination to purchase the program. And the students really loved it. They got stars and points the more books they read and the more quizzes they took, and the lessons that they accomplished. And so there was incentives as well that motivated the students. Another one of my favorite is Pixton Comic Maker. I use this across many different languages, not only in Arabic and many different subjects, but it's an online comic maker, and it has Middle Eastern and ethnic clothing. You have different types of hats, scarves, bonnets, and different types of skirts, dresses. You can customize the avatars, different scenarios, different sceneries. You have desert landscape. You have various types of things that you can choose. So if you want to make it set in the Sahara Desert, or, an Arabian type of setting, you can definitely do that. And the students can then create their own scenarios and their own dialogues. It supports Arabic letters. It supports Arabic characters. So you can actually make your comics talk in Arabic and have Arabic speech bubbles. So it's a very, very interesting and engaging tool to use. Another website, which is very similar to Nahla wa Nahil, is I Read Arabic. It's ar.ireadarabic.com. And it's a very popular website that's used especially in the Middle East, in the United Arab Emirates and Qatar, and in many other countries. They use this in their schools to ensure that the students are reading, comprehending, and learning Arabic at an acceptable level to accomplish the school's goals. And basically it has over 500 audio recorded ebooks. There's fiction, nonfiction, articles, plays, and there's quizzes, there's grammar incorporated into it, and there's various levels of ease and difficulty. And then another one of my favorite is Blue-Kit. Blue-Kit is a nice, fun, interactive game. It's like a quiz format. It's kind of like Kahoot, but it's more competitive. And there are different formats. You can do like a gold rush. You can do crypto hack. You can do many different types of games, which keeps the students engaged as well. Then there's Flipgrid, where we can have our students basically record videos, and then they can, add little emojis or little things to their faces to animate themselves when they present digitally. So as they record themselves, Flipgrid allows them to change the way that they look or change their video screen a bit and make themselves look slightly different as they're talking, which could be kind of fun for them. And they don't have to use Flipgrid, even if they just want to use another video recording tool, just to get them comfortable in talking and recording in Arabic. There's also another website called Kalina, which has language and culture modules. It's pretty advanced level. Another website is Jeopardy Labs. There's Arabic games on Jeopardy Labs as well. So, if you've been using Jeopardy Labs for other subjects like science or social studies or English, you'll also find that there are many pre-made games by teachers already in Arabic. There's Al Jazeera Learning. There's another website called Arabic.ba, which has video lessons and audio recordings and written materials. And it includes grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. It has exercises, quizzes, and games. There's a website with free multilingual books called storybookscanada.ca. There's another really good website that was shared last time, Aswat Arabia, which also has a lot of great videos for different in different levels with comprehension exercises. And another one of my favorites to keep students engaged is Padlet, which is a digital bulletin board. And I think, maybe you guys have used it 'cause it's a Google tool, and you can customize it and add text, images, videos, and links. So you can provide students with the prompt, and then students can answer, and everyone can see each other's posts and comment and like on each other's posts. So it kind of mimics social media. And then we have Arabic Without Walls, which is by UC Berkeley, and it correlates with Al-Kitab. Now, I know Al-Kitab is used in university level, not usually in K-12 and not in high school level. However, some of the worksheets and videos and companion materials that they've posted on Arabic Without Walls can be beneficial for high school teachers as well. There's a really neat website called Arabic Calligraphy Generator, which allows students to put any name or word in English or Arabic, and it generates it in different Arabic fonts. And it's a really nice and fun activity for students to see their names in these fonts, especially if they're just getting exposed to the alphabet. Then this is always being shared, and I've got a chance to actually check it out, the Jasur Arabic Language Program. It's always being shared in the K-12 bulletin email. And so they have a textbook that was designed, and it's created just for non-native speakers of Arabic. And the website not only provides like a free textbook for educators to use, but also many resources that can be used even without the textbook or to supplement. Then, of course, the Al-Kitab language program, even if you just go to alkitabtextbook.com, has great resources and extra activities, online component, basically, that even if you're not using the book, you might find something that you can use to supplement your existing lessons and units. The Arab American National Museum has a variety of resources, including lesson plans and activities that can incorporate Arabic language and culture. And then there's Noorbook.com, which is an online platform that has a vast collection of Arabic books. And then it has free and paid access. So there's a few books for free. And then if you pay, you can get access to everything. And they have both PDF and EPUB formats. Here is the Jeopardy game. I took a screenshot of this just to show you how it looks like. If you go to like jeopardylabs.com and you search just like Arabic, there are different games that you can choose from. And then of course you could just make your own game as well. It allows you to make your own game. And then basically, you create your 4 or 5 categories on the top, and then you come up with questions, and the students would then have to either translate it or answer it, or engage with that question. And then if they get the question right, they'd get the points. You'd click on it, and then it keeps it keeps summing up the points basically as you go along. So then at the end of the game, you can actually figure out which student or which team got the most points. So it can be a very competitive and fun way to keep the students engaged and want to really succeed and engage with the language. So these are some of my favorite go-to websites that I like to just when I'm really stuck and I don't know what I want to do with my students. I feel like my students are starting to get bored. They don't want to be engaged in class anymore, or I just want to diversify my lesson a bit. I've been going a lot to the third source the most recently. It's called easyarabicnews.com. And I'm gonna open the website too, just to show it to you. Also, there's BBC Arabic. Prior to finding easyarabicnews.com, I used to always go to BBC Arabic. And although I love BBC Arabic, there'd always be articles that students would just find a little bit difficult. And it wasn't easy for me to always find something on their level. So when I found easyarabicnews.com, it kind of solved my problem, because now I can really get every student to understand the content, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then the second one is a really nice National Foreign Language Center website. And it's just sharing a lot of lesson plans, activities, and assessments, but not only for Arabic. They have every single language there. They have Japanese, Chinese, Hebrew. So, Arabic is just one of the many languages included on that website. So it is overwhelming. There is so many resources there, but it's really nice. And a couple of times I've actually taken something that was made for French or Spanish, and then I just deleted the French and Spanish words and I added Arabic instead, because I found that it was very well made, and all I needed to do was keep the images and just adjust things, and it was half made basically. So it can be a nice website to consult, and it has a really nice collection of resources. So I'm going to show you this Easy Arabic News website, which is, I think, so helpful, because especially if you have different levels in your class, which I think most of us do. So this is the Easy Arabic website. Let me just make sure you guys are seeing that. Yeah. Okay. And then so you could pick from beginner, intermediate, or advanced. And then of course, they have it here in Arabic as well. And then the great thing is, like, say you're reading this this article about Eid al-Fitr. If there's any word that the student doesn't know, they can click on it and it translates that word for them. It tells them what it means. Let me just show you where it is. If I can. The article. Oh, I don't know why it's not working at the moment. But, I don't know if it has to do, or maybe I didn't open the right way. Is it the audio version? Oh, this is the quiz now. Well, they even, like, as you see, they have even a quiz. They have, okay, well, they have footnotes here at the bottom in English that help explain certain concepts, especially because this is like a religious article talking about Eid al-Fitr. So it explains what is Eid al-Fitr. It talks about the lunar calendar. It talks about different things like that. And then also there's supposed to be an audio version, but it seems like for this article, it's under preparation. So with the audio version, the benefit of it is that you can actually click on the words and it'll read it for you. And then underneath the word, it'll actually translate it for you. So for this article, it's not prepared. There's probably an earlier article that it is prepared for. I just clicked on the newest one. And then as you see here at the bottom, there's even a quiz. So the students can even test themselves, or the teacher can have them do it together collectively. If you have like a smart board in your classroom, you could have students take turns and come up and then answer these questions. There's vocabulary at the bottom too. It serves as a glossary. So these words are helping them to define the words that they're going to see in the article above. So they can, maybe have this on a separate sheet or a printout, but it definitely saves teachers a lot of time. So if you want to have your students engaging in more authentic texts, real text, as if they were like trying to immerse themselves in the language and like as if they're native speakers, then this would be really helpful. And then they can use the vocabulary list as their like little glossary, and as they read, they can, you know, hopefully be able to translate and engage with the material. So this is another, you know, great resource, and there are just so many articles and in all the different levels. So I think I like this website now even better than BBC News because of how rich it is and how easy it is to use. And then here's BlueKit. I wanted to show you guys, if you haven't used BlueKit before, if you just type like Al Arabiya or Al Arabi, it'll show you many BlueKits that have already been made by teachers about various topics. And of course, you could also make your own. So you don't have to use the pre-made ones here. But let's say you just wanted to use one of these, let's say you wanted to use this one. Here are the questions. It's kind of like Kahoot. You can see all the questions and the answers. If you click on them, you can see the correct answer as well before you play the game. And so you could just click on show answers. It'll show you all the answers here. And then, you know, you can host the game. You can also assign the game as a homework, just like Kahoot. But the cool thing about hosting is that there are a lot of game options. So the students, sometimes they like to have a choice on what kind of game they're going to play for the day, whether it's going to be Gold Quest or Crypto Hack or Fishing Frenzy or Tower Defense. And it kind of feels like you're playing a video game, but you have to answer questions on the topic. And then they have to keep answering until the game is over. It usually runs for 7 minutes, but you can definitely change the timing and things like that. So, and then, like I said, this is a Jeopardy game. So you can type Arabic, you could type it in Latin letters, or if you want to type like Al Arabi. Oh, oops, I don't have the word Arabi copied here. Let me just copy it from here. So you'll get, you know, questions and games that have been already made. So the kids can, you know, really feel like the class has changed up for the day, and it's not the same, always just reading from the textbook or always doing the same activities, the same, you know, the same pattern all the time. Sometimes it's nice to give the students a little bit of a change. And sometimes it's even nice for it to be student-led if possible. So these resources definitely allow more student-centered opportunities for us in our language classroom. So my last slide was just gonna ask everyone what were your favorite resources, and what do you as teachers like to use when you, you know, like what, this was my discussion slide, like what are your go-to resources? What's your favorite website? What's your favorite low prep activity? What's your favorite like fun activity? What's your favorite game or app? So I would just love to hear what other teachers are doing as well, because sometimes it can be isolating, as you know, maybe you're the only Arabic teacher in your school, or maybe there's only 1 or 2 Arabic teachers in your whole school. So there's not many opportunities for you to collaborate or talk to other teachers and ask them, you know, what they're using and stuff like that. So sometimes we just, if we share with each other some ideas, it can really help get our creative juices flowing. I see Quizlet, okay, and Peer Deck, yeah. Yep, those are definitely awesome and go-to sources, especially for getting ready for exams and assessments and things like that. I love using Quizlet. Yes, I think a lot of university instructors would love Khalina for the culture, and it's a good advanced level. And I think it's really rich and it fits very well with the university units. Easy Arabic News is my new favorite now. Yes, it is really nice. And it's so easy to use. It's very user friendly. Sweet Arabia for listening. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. Do you have a link for that one, Maria? I've never checked that one out. That would be nice to explore Sweet Arabia. Or is it Aswat? Are you talking about Aswat? Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I think it's Aswat. Yes, okay. Sorry. I didn't read. I just read it like without thinking. Yes. Oh, okay, nice. Negla shared a cool link. Lang Media, 5 colleges. All right, we're gonna check that one out. That's from your college that you teach at, right, Negla? You're at 5 colleges?
I actually used to teach there. I
Oh,
teach at
okay.
now, but it has a cultural talk about Egypt and Levant area and a lot of dialects and Darija and Iraqi Arabic too. A lot
Cool.
of videos, and they have a lot of formally spoken Arabic videos too.
That's amazing and very necessary.
I don't know
Especially the different dialects.
is the link active, but I'm sure Long Media, if you go into longmedia.5colleges.edu, but you'll find different African languages, but Arabic is
Yeah,
the
let me see. Maybe I can
oh
open
okay.
it really quick.
Oh yeah, here
Okay,
it
yes.
is. It's like you see the cultural talk Egypt, Iraq, North
Yeah,
Africa, and it's really in addition to formally spoken Arabic. Yeah, it's a really cool
oh,
um
nice.
website.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so this is like everyday greetings, but in Iraqi dialect.
They kiss both cheeks, and you start by the left cheek and the right cheek after that. Yeah, and sometimes the lips do not touch the cheeks; they just make the kisses, wind kisses, and
That's nice. I can see that there's nice videos here, mashallah, and something about the etiquette and the greetings and then the manners. So there's a lot of resources on this website as well. Definitely a good website to add to our list. Because I know that Mimi, we want to have like a big list to share and have available for teachers, like as a go-to website. Just like, hey, you're stuck, go to this website. Let's see what we and have like we're gonna try to have like descriptions and maybe even a short YouTube video for each of these resources so that if you're not sure like how to use that resource, everything is like available and it would be nice and organized for teachers. So, Arabic teaching won't be a scary thing anymore and it'll be pretty like French and Spanish and all the other languages. um, any other resources? Please share. It would be awesome. And definitely I'm gonna add them, to the list so that way so all the teachers can benefit from it. Playaling. Yes, I've gone to Playaling before. Actually, I like it. They have really nice videos there as well, and all the different dialects. I actually recommended it to a teacher just like a month ago, I remember. Okay. Oh, they're gonna soon require space. Okay. Yeah, but I remember it had all the dialects right under each video, and it shows you what you are what dialect you're listening to, so that's really nice. Most of us are probably teaching modern standard, but sometimes we want to expose our students to Gulf, Egyptian, and other dialects as well. So there's representation in the classroom if you have those students there, and also just for exposure. So this is a really good website as well. And it's not on my list, so I should definitely add it. And Ethan shared a Facebook page. I'm gonna check that out as well. Oh, okay. This is I have to log in, I guess, but let me see if I can see it without logging in. Okay. So it has a lot of worksheets here. Oh, these are like comics, kind of. That's cool. That looks fun. I've never seen these before. This is new. Definitely a nice way to change up the traditional worksheets for our students. So these are really great resources and great websites. Keep them coming, guys, if you have more.
I think it's basically Egyptian Arabic, the
Oh, okay.
Al-Warqa. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know, but
it's a
Islam
little
Jawish is Egyptian.
it does. I do see Egyptian. Yes, that's true. Yeah. We can maybe have our students move it to modern standard. Like, hey guys, how would you change
Yeah,
from Egyptian to modern standard? If you're, I know most of us are probably teaching modern standard. Like, I haven't seen a full curriculum in just Egyptian dialect in like a school yet. I've seen it as like additional. But if it's taught, I mean, Ethan, do you teach only from this? Or do you want to share how you use this?
I teach mostly in mostly colloquial, but we'll just read a comic and then we'll, talk about what we understood from it. Sometimes we'll act out what we think happens next or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's really nice. Very cool. I'm gonna add it to our list as well. I love comics. I'm a comic fan. I like making my students make their own comics, but reading comics is really fun too. Well, thank you so much. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for sharing your resources with me, and I hope the resources that I've shared with you were also beneficial. And thank you, Mimi, and thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, Sarah. That's an amazing list. I love those resources. And like Sarah just said a little while ago, we will have this posted on the website so that, you can go and access them. Now, I wanted to give Hala a chance because we had such trouble with her presentation. If you wanted to go back and do anything and play anything or
in the PowerPoint I shared it with my student much easier and better.
Okay.
Can I share from here?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll mute myself and then, because you're on right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Hala, you've got the floor and I will mute myself.
If I would like to share more, I would like just to share the PowerPoint, the Pear Deck one, the one I have it with my own students during doing the lesson. I don't know. Can you see it now? Did you share it? Yeah, I share my screen.
Yes,
Can you?
yes, we see how fasting.
So here I start usually with the calendar, and then we start the essential question. And here we start with the reading. This is the reading I was talking about. And I hope you can see it now. And here, this is the part in Switzerland. They have, in Geneva, Switzerland, they hold a feast where, and they perform fasting where there is no connection to religious or any, it's a happiness. It's just a happy one. And here is about the health benefits of the fasting. Okay. Oh, I don't think that, okay. They can't hear. I don't think they can hear.
Yes, we cannot hear the video.
Because I have mine off.
This appetite loss is part of a set of responses to infection, collectively known as sickness behavior. When you get an infection, there are two ways that your body gets damaged. First, the pathogen itself can cause damage. Second, our immune system, while fighting the infection, causes collateral damage by making toxic substances like reactive oxygen species or unfolded proteins. For nearly 50 years, scientists and doctors have wondered whether and how sickness behaviors affect the course of disease. To investigate the damage caused by the immune system, we infected some mice with the virus and others with bacteria, then fed them. The mice infected with bacteria died, whereas the mice infected with virus survived. We next tried to figure out which food was the culprit, and we found that glucose was responsible for the effects of feeding during infection. When we blocked the ability of cells to use glucose with chemicals called 2DG and DMH, mice infected with bacteria now survived, and mice infected with the virus died. The exact opposite happened. Why does this happen? Cells need the right nutrients to perform certain tasks. So during an infection, what you eat controls what nutrients are available to your cells, and therefore what defense strategies they can employ. We found that in bacterial infections, cells need ketones.
Okay, so this is the one regarding the benefits of fasting. After reading, after watching, we do usually this. It's a method research based from Harvard University. I read, I see, I think, I wonder, but when we read, I say, I do it as I read, I think, I wonder. And they share their wonders here in Perdek. Honestly, the lovely thing that they don't see what they are writing themselves. They don't see names. I mean, they share without names. And this is comfort zone for the high schooler. As I said, even when you use it with the calendar, when they do mistakes with the day or for writing the day or the month or the year, I just say, and I point out because I share the response or the response on my screen. And they automatically correct themselves without knowing who did the mistake. So here, when we share with each other, and here the panel, as I said, I like it myself about Allison, and it was a good timing and a good portion for, oops, I don't want to play it. Okay. And here I give the task for through the Jigsaw activity for each level to take a portion of, and they have it by minutes. Sometimes I trim it, sometimes I do draw their attention from what exact minute, if they would like to just get to the point and get to their portion. And I give a question, and regarding this question, they start to reflect. And as I said, this is the point, honestly, to understand Ramadan, for me to understand what is fasting, and hear about the Jewish part, and hear about the Mormon part, and the Islam. So, and after we're doing this, I ask them, after we brainstorm, we activate the prior knowledge, we do this, what do you want to know about fasting? And when I start to, as I said, I have the framework, but I start to weave according to, and most likely it's aligned with what I have in mind as a teacher. To be honest, it's not that much. The origin, one of the things, if you read the slides when I was presenting, it said, what is the origin of fasting in Islam? They didn't see in the Muslim faith part, he focused in the essence of fasting. But why Muslim fast? So part of this was, and this is the part of the video. Can you see the video? Can you see? This is the video about yeah. Here is the boy waiting for one of his friends, and you can see the lantern of Ramadan, the gathering, the happiness. It's not about religion, people who are sitting, but they are observing fasting live, love, and waiting for the month. And this shows big.
معلش يا جماعه بس على الله ما تحرقهاش زي عزومه كل سنه.
I teach high school, they like this part, and the way he was, yeah.
انت متأكدة ان هو ده طمطم؟
I remember Boogie and Tom.
يلا هو لسه نفتح الباب بسرعة.
سيدي ده مفتوح هو هيجي وراك. اي
في ناس عرفت ان رمضان هو اللي بيكمل لمتنا اتفضل يا طارق.
Fine. So this is, as I said, presentation for how the months that they celebrate the months. It's not regarding the religion as much as the spirit of love the month and love fasting. Appreciate it. Okay. And here المسحراتي, I don't want to take that much time, but and how do we keep our health during Ramadan? And this is al-Musaharati, the old one and the new one. And after watching again, I think I wonder when watching, and they see the culture of how someone taking care of waking up people. And the new Musaharati have a lovely voice, and he is just, enjoying waking people up to observe and to take suhoor and to get ready for the fasting. This is about different countries and food, drinks, kunafa, and others. And as I said, what do you think is the culture affect the people, how the people celebrate the month of Ramadan? And this was ending when they choose according to their group, to their level. Some countries, it could be 2 or 3 countries. I like groups of trios, ثلاثة, and they introduce their countries, they collaborate with each other, and they show how Ramadan as a product, as a perspective, as a practice different between the countries. And yeah, that's it. Yeah. So the thing, I have it in my PowerPoint that I was sharing with you, a lovely part of understanding by design. It's a space of trust or a circle of trust. When a meeting like what we have today, when the teacher collaborate with each other, they share each other what they have.
Thank you so much. Take care,
Mimi,
everybody.
Thank you. I don't know. I had
one
a
quick comment just to say, Sarah
okay.
wrote for comics. I believe there has been Arabic comics, Garfield by Jim Davis in Arabic, Snoopy by Charles M. Schultz in Arabic as well. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, it's a great suggestion. Yeah. All right. Thanks again. Ma salama.
Ma salama.